tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I hate it, clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm in a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the car, had to break it safe. I've been riding my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Roddy Richards, a bicycle, love me. Ride away, then my heart went on ice again. Find the balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. Popping up on your side like we out of bounds. Ain't no way that it think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
What is up, football fans, and welcome to the Air It Out podcast brought to you by Inside the Hashes. My name is Avery, and I'm joined here by none other than the one and only, I don't know which way to point. I'm just going to do this from now on, okay? I'm just do this so y'all can just catch it. The one and only Juan, say what's up to the people.
What's up? Milwaukee Bucks, the only undefeated team in the NBA right now at 3-0. Plus, just a quick note, I was looking at the Air It Out intro song, still kicking, still good. But I just started like looking at the players like, okay, he's not there anymore. He's gone. He's gone. I got like 5 of them.
It's an old edit. It's all good. The song is still new, so it's fresh and funky, as they say. So we'll let it rock. Hey, CEO, Mr. Jerome Jones, you heard the man. Juan said you need to update the
calling out the top boss right here.
Graphics here. You know, he said you're slacking on your roster, on your depth chart. So just wanted to let you know. But listen, man, it's the Air It Out podcast. We are here. We've got some other folks joining us later, potentially. We'll see if that happens. But with that being said, let's jump into the first topic and let's do this. All right. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. Okay. We're going to get into our first topic. And the first topic is, well, we're talking about quarterbacks today, right? Like, we're talking a lot about quarterbacks today. And we're going to start off the show with, well, Matt Ryan. He got benched, okay? Matt Ryan got benched. I know. I get it. I get it, okay? We all understand. I told him if he stopped patting the ball, then he probably wouldn't have got benched. But anyway, he got benched. Now, reports are saying that he has a shoulder injury on his throwing shoulder. It is a shoulder sprain or strain. And with that being said, he wasn't going to play this game anyway. He would have been out this week. But head coach Frank Reich has now stated that the plan is for their backup quarterback, what is his name? Chase McFarley, to
wait, what?
No, not Chase McFarley. Who is it? What is his name?
Sam Ehlinger.
Sam Ehlinger. That's who it is. I don't know why I said Chase McFarley. Anyway, Sam Ehlinger is going to start the rest of the season. So Matt Ryan has essentially been benched, and I want to know what your thoughts. Hello, mother. How are you? Good to have you in there. Matt Ryan gets benched. The world. Oh no. Anyway, I mean, pretty much. Like I can't even deny that, Chris. I really can't deny it. So, Juan, I'll talk to you. What are your thoughts on Matt Ryan being benched?
Well, does this mean you're finally going to stop doing that Matt Ryan rant at the end of every show?
Well, technically, I guess so, because he's not playing, so he can't pat the ball anymore, right?
Goodness. I mean, it's great. Love it. Keep doing it. No, man, I'm just being cheeky. Look, it's not a surprise that Matt Ryan got benched. Frankly, the man, everyone who thought that Matt Ryan still had something left in the tank, the tank was empty since the start of the season. All right. Ryan does not look like his former self, does not look like, the man that can elevate an offense by getting his playmakers in position. That's what Matt Ryan was best known for, getting guys in position, making plays just by, throwing guys open, because that arm talent is something that is very underrated from Matt Ryan. If he had won that Super Bowl against the Patriots, I would have called him a Hall of Famer. However, after suffering a shoulder sprain against the Titans last week, it was clear that Ryan just didn't have it anymore. 7 games played, just over 2,000 yards passing, 9 touchdowns on the season, but 9 interceptions as well, and 3 fumbles lost. Carson Wentz last year only had 7 interceptions on the whole season. I know that last year wasn't a great one for Carson Wentz because, it's Carson Wentz. But at the same time, Matt Ryan, what are you doing, my man? You're trying to make plays in an offense that just isn't clicking right now. He and his receivers just aren't there. Number 11, whose name always escapes me.
Michael Pittman.
Him and Michael Pittman. You would have thought that, hey, what's up, coach?
What's good? So hold up.
No. No, you're muted. We are allowing you, Juan, to finish your take before he even gets in here. Go ahead and finish your take, Juan.
So the fact of the matter is, Ryan didn't have it. Fans could see it. The coaches could see it. And worst of all, Jim Irsay could see it. And Irsay has become one of the more involved owners in this league when it comes to Colts operations. I mean, he's the one that wanted Carson Wentz out of there. He's the one that inspired to bring Matt Ryan in. And just last week during the owners meeting, he was praising Ryan's leadership, and now he wanted him bench. That is just a bad look. A bad look. And look, I'm all for trying to do the best for this team and putting young talent to try to get the spark in. And I mean, Ehlinger looks great in the preseason, probably one of the top quarterbacks in the preseason. But preseason is the preseason. That's vanilla offense against vanilla defense. And he is a 6th round player out of Texas who was literally in his draft profile regarded as a career backup with average passing abilities. All right. And I saw him play at Texas. The dude is a monster. He's a leader. He has all the intangibles, everything you want in a quarterback on the inside. If he can perform it on the outside, especially with who they're playing against this week, I have hope. I'm optimistic with how Ehlinger will play, but we'll see.
We will see. Very, very true. Coach, it's good to have you back, sir. It's good to have you back on the pod, man. I see you repping your Ravens and everything like that. So let's give you your Ravens rant.
All right. So first off, let's clear the air, people. No, I am not, and will never be an Eagles fan. I did that out of love for my lovely wife. Took her to the Cowboys game, Sunday Night Football versus the Eagles. That was her.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think people understand what you're talking about. So let's put the people on, because this Ravens fan with
no, ain't no
Ravens here and all the Ravens and all of those things. This Ravens fan was spotted wearing Eagles paraphernalia at an Eagles game.
Okay, hold on. I gotta come to the defensive coach here.
Look at the smirk.
Avery, I gotta come to coach's defense here.
Look at him.
I get it, but look, I'm the guy that always wears a different jersey every week. Like literally 3 times a week I wear.
No. See, I can excuse that because you're being a reporter, you're being an analyst, you're showing.
I'm being a husband.
This guy right here.
I'm being a great husband.
Avery, your lady, is she a Falcon fan?
No.
What is she? But what is she?
She's not a fan of football.
She's not a fan of football?
Not really.
That sucks. But I'm sorry.
Look at it.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Actually,
look at it. And he got the chain on there. He got the hat backward. He put a whole fit on for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is all Eagles. He's decked out. Look at this.
Not decked out whatsoever. It was a regular black hat.
To be fair, Avery, he is a married man. All right.
Listen. So wife wanted me to look the part. I said, you know what?
Okay. All right. Listen.
And that's it.
What are your thoughts on Matt Ryan being benched? Eagles.
That's simple.
Eagles.
Ho. Address me correctly. Coach, Raven Flock Braxton.
Okay.
That's what it is from here on out. But
Matt Ryan,
how do I say this nicely? That was a backstabbing move right there. To Juan's point, you cannot praise him 1 week prior and then bench him the next. We already seen what was going on with the Colts in their offense. It's not the same as last year. The offensive line is not producing the same. They're getting pressure up the middle. The injuries is killing them. It's not the same offense. It's not what Matt Ryan expected to walk into. And Frank Wright, as the head coach and offensive guru, should be able to adapt to this, but he's not being able to adapt. And with that being said, I honestly think he might get fired after this year if they don't make the playoffs. You have to think about it. He's been teetering the last few years. He's had a solid team, but he's not really made it far. That has been his issue. He has not made it very far. He has great teams, solid defenses, solid offenses, but they cannot go that far, and that's the issue.
Yeah, Chris, listen,
No,
the Jets.
I'm not even gonna say that.
The
I'm
Jets.
not touching that.
Listen, the Jets have been absolutely.
Jets has been solid. I'm not gonna lie.
Hype me.
What?
Do not hype me right now. This is not about the Jets right now.
Exactly. We're not talking
for
about
next
the
week.
Jets. Listen, here's my take on the Matt Ryan situation. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not worried about backstabbing. I'm not worried about none of that. What my issue is people are overrating this situation. That's my issue. I think Matt Ryan has some blame, without question. I believe he has some blame. He has not played extremely well. But let me just point a couple things out. Matt Ryan is tied for the league in sacks and QB hits in the NFL. Tied for the league lead in sacks. He's number 1 in QB hits in the NFL. That's number 1. Number 2, they have the third worst rushing offense in the NFL with Jonathan Taylor. They have the third worst rushing offense in the NFL. Okay, we were talking about Jonathan Taylor for MVP last season and all of these different things.
Taylor barely has. Taylor doesn't even have 400 yards in a year.
Now,
that's what that is.
They only have 2. I count 2 rushing touchdowns on the entire season. We're in week 8. We're in week 8 in that they have 2 rushing touchdowns this entire year. Their defense is top 10 in passing yards allowed this season. Yet despite that, Matt Ryan is currently top 5 in passing yards. Right? Juan, you threw out the stat that he's barely over 2,000, but we didn't throw out the fact that that's in the top 5 in the NFL right now. He's tied for the league in completed passes, and he's top 5 in completion percentage in the NFL right now.
He's also top 3 in passes that lead to first downs with 103. So he's throwing. So he's still got some accuracy. But
he's also top 15 in pass to throw, meaning as soon as I get the ball snapped, but before a pressure comes or a sack, I get the ball out as fast as almost anybody in the league right now. Like Matt Ryan, yes, turning the ball over way too much, but that happens when you're trying to force and make plays and create a spark. When your receivers, honestly, if we're being real, the receivers, none of them are threatening downfield. None of them are creating a bunch of separation. They're just big targets. They're 6'5", 215+ pound receivers, but they're not creating separation. They're not routing people up. They're not doing things that help a quarterback out. The offensive line has been abysmal when we thought that they were supposed to be one of the best in the league. The running game is non-existent. Matt Ryan is an aging quarterback. What do you expect from that? Like, the point I'm making is, I'm not saying Matt Ryan shouldn't have been benched. The point I'm making is Matt Ryan is not the singular sole problem. The play calling is terrible. The offensive line is not good. The rushing offense is not good. The defense is meh. So, Juan.
But even if everything was working in harmony right now with how everything's going, like Matt Ryan, not with all the turnovers, how many turnovers could you say was his fault? The 3 lost fumbles have to be. Also, coach, stop lying to the public.
Never.
Oh, man. I mean, Flacco was top 5 in passing yards before Wilson came back from injury. He was, but dude, that's like 3 weeks into a season. There was no established running game with the Jets at that time until Breece Hall got into the picture.
And let's not forget the Jets weren't terrible during that time.
They weren't either. They were 1-2 with Flacco at the helm.
So real quick to Avery's point, you know that everything you said, Avery, is exactly what I was trying to express and say, and this is why I state again. I honestly think if they do not make the playoffs, Frank Reich could lose his job.
Absolutely.
Chris Ballard, because how can you not find a quarterback after Andrew Luck left 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been Jacoby Brissett. It's been Phillip Rivers. It's been Matt Ryan. It's been Carson Wentz. These aren't solutions. These are stopgaps. And the only quarterback you drafted, which all due respect, I want to see how he'll perform because he does look like he can do well, is Sam Ehlinger. That's all you have to show for the last 5 years at the helm.
I agree. Or Jakob Eason, but
listen, I agree. I agree 100% with that take that they need to make the playoffs this year, or Frank Reich is definitely probably he's probably in the hot seat right now.
Is Matt Ryan retiring? Is this the final year for Matt Ryan?
No.
It depends. I don't think he retires. I don't know if he'll be a Colt next year, but I don't think he retires. Like, I think it's and here's the other thing. It's just like you're benching a quarterback who's $35 million against the cap right now. That's but that's beside the point. So I think that they're going to realize, putting Sam in, that Matt Ryan wasn't the sole issue, and they're going to try to fix some of those actual issues. And then I think you can bring Matt Ryan back in. He's not a starter anymore. I would disagree with that. I don't think that he's an elite talent. I don't think that he's a top 10 quarterback right now. But I do believe that he can start in the NFL still. So that's it. Darren, last words, and we'll move on.
All right. So at least to Chris's point, I don't believe that you're right on that, man. I don't. You have to think, again, it's everything else. We already know going into it, Matt Ryan was believed to have a good running game, a good offensive line to help protect him, and at least some big body targets with possible speed, which would allow him to manage the game and make the plays needed. We already knew, like Avery said, he's an aging quarterback. So we cannot say he's not a starter when everything he was supposed to have, including a solid defense, is not there right now.
He's also not a mobile quarterback either. And in this day and age, like we've seen, I'll bring the Jets back in as an example of what happens when you don't have a mobile quarterback in this modern NFL. With Joe Flacco at the helm, it was a 1-2 football team. Yeah, he had a decently strong arm getting the passing game together, but he was just not able to move. Zach Wilson, 4-0 as a starter. The passing yards don't look great, but against the Broncos, he forced 7 missed sacks, only took 2. And it led into a winning recipe. And Matt Ryan, I think like so far sacks this year, he has like 16 sacks against him so far.
So I want to answer that question. I mean, Chris, there's a ton of teams that Matt Ryan could obviously start on next year. I still think he's better. My personal opinion, I think he's still better than Ryan Tannehill. I don't think Ryan Tannehill has shown me anything that says he's better than Matt Ryan. I think he's better than Davis Mills in Houston. He's better than him. I think he's better than you could make a case that he's better than anybody on Pittsburgh's roster.
James Winston.
He's better than anybody on Pittsburgh's roster right now. Mitchell Trubisky and like. But obviously you wouldn't put him on there because you drafted a young quarterback. Obviously, Jameis Winston, like you just said, and Andy Dalton. Justin Fields, your guy, Chris. How about that? Like, what is Justin Fields doing in the NFL right now? So, I mean, there's places for him to start. The Matt Ryan types are being phased out to backups.
All right, we're focusing too much on Matt Ryan right now. Why don't we switch gears to another?
I listen. I just wanted to answer that question very briefly because I do think he can start. I don't think he necessarily will start next season unless it's on one of those teams that I mentioned. So with that being said, we're going to move into our next sell. We're going to do a little buy and sell here. We're going to talk about another quarterback here. Okay. And I need to know, are you buying or selling this guy? I mean, is Geno like that? Like, Geno Smith is out here balling right now. Okay. Geno Smith is absolutely killing the game. Okay. He leads the league in NFL completion percentage. He's absolutely snapping. He's got his Seahawks first in the division. Number one. Numero uno in his division. So, Coach, I got to know, is Geno like that? Are you buying or selling the Geno hype?
So I thought about this one. I really did because I had to really go and look back at some of it, and I seen some of the clips on like social media and things like that, and just kind of seeing some of the games. But yeah, I'm buying. I gotta buy it, man. Like Geno has waited his time. He has truly studied the game, and you can see him. You can see the advancement in some of the studies he's done. When it comes to Geno right now, he goes, makes the smart play. Just not trying to overdo it, not trying to force too many things. He is allowing the defense that's playing very solid to work and the running game behind him to work. He is being another version of an Alex Smith. And if you're telling me that Geno can be like Alex Smith, I'll take that for the Seahawks right now. Especially a year after having Russell traded and everything else. This is a good look. And I do like what I'm seeing from Geno. So if he can keep it up with the weapons he has, sky's the limit, man. Well,
it's looking like Pete Carroll and the Seahawks were the people who are right in this situation so far. Because what Russ is doing in Denver is absolutely abysmal. Juan, what are your thoughts? I mean, are you buying or selling the Geno hype?
Geno Smith hasn't rode back yet. Yes, I'm buying into the hype. Look, as a Jets fan, I was there for when Geno was at the helm. Geno had the qualities of a starting quarterback, right? He was accurate in the pocket. He was able to make reads and be mobile when he had to be. He wasn't stellar. He didn't make the big plays, but he was just enough to get you by. What killed was the lack of leadership. Remember, he got punched in the face and had his jaw broke. The immaturity, and he threw too many interceptions. He was still a pick guy. I mean, right now, his career touchdown to interception ratio before this year was 34-37. That is terrible. All right, but Pete Carroll worked with him for the past couple of years, playing behind Russell Wilson. He's learned a lot in the backfield, and like a fine wine, he's aged. He's 32 years old. He's on a 1-year contract, and the stats are out of this world. 4-3 record, first in the division of the NFC West, 11-3 touchdown interception ratio, 1 on the ground, and he's third in the league in QBR and passer rating. He's 6th in touchdowns scored, and he's led the Seahawks offense to a top 5 ranking. And that's alongside with rookie Kenneth Walker just blowing up right now. That's my pick for rookie of the year, by the way. Would have been Breece Hall if he didn't blow his knee out. I love seeing the Geno Renaissance take place, personally. I'm still not happy with the decisions he made while he was in New York, but I'm glad that he finally found his spot. Like he's I saw this one comment. He's basically the 2022 version of the Ryan Tannehill reclamation story. He found his spot. He's managing the offense, and he could lead them to a playoff run. Could it be as deep as Ryan Tannehill has gotten the Tennessee Titans? We'll see. However, one interesting question I want to bring up to y'all: do you pay Geno Smith big money after this season? Like, keep in mind, he's on a 1-year, $1.26 million contract. He's an unrestricted free agent next year. How much, if at all, do you think Seattle pays for Geno Smith? I want to throw it to Avery and then Coach right after.
I think if they make the playoffs, you got to pay him. That's my answer.
But how much do you pay?
The market dictates.
The market will dictate, but so there's tiers. You have the Aaron Rodgers tier and the Deshaun Watson tier. You have the Jameis Winston tier.
You're not going to go that level, but I think you could see I could see Geno getting 20 mil a year, 20 to 25.
I'd say 24 in the range. 24.
Now, this is what I would do. I would franchise tag him. Then he makes 34 mil this year. And let me show me you can do it again. If you do it again, then we start talking long-term contract. But I still have that second franchise tag where you'd be making 40 mil. I mean, that's a good 70 million over 2 years. And let's say you do play well, it doesn't really hurt us too much because you're an aging quarterback at that as well. So the contract that we do give you will probably be your last long-term one if you play well over these next two years. It'll be here if James gets an extension before it. Now that would be funny.
That would be
my.
He just did that. No, wait, Coach, what would you pay Gino?
Chris, don't do that to me again, yo. Don't ever do that again. Oh man. But so I'm not gonna lie. I had a number in my head. I know exactly what I wanted. 2 years, $20 million for each year. So 2 years, $40 million. With that second year kind of voidable. So this way, if he plays well again this next year, he can make that long-term deal for about 3, maybe 4 years. That was in my head before.
That sounds like a cheap LeBron James contract.
But listen, he gets his long short-term contract now where he can play it out. He can do well and then try to go somewhere else and get big bucks, or play, show that he can do it again while getting a pay increase and then going ahead and cashing in.
Listen, I think here's the thing. If Gino makes the playoffs anywhere from the $20 million to $30 million range, if Gino makes the playoffs and wins a game, I don't even care if they lose after that. If he wins a game in the playoffs, he's guaranteed $30 million. Whether that's through the franchise tag or a contract that's 2 years, $63 million, he's going to get $30 million if he wins a playoff game. And that's what I feel. Listen, we've got to wrap this thing up. So we're going to jump right in to our game picks, y'all. We're going to do our game picks now. You know what I'm saying? Now, real quick, I'm going to give you guys an update on the standings. Okay, Darren, you've been gone. And
apologies. Listen, the season has been
long. You've been forgetting to send in your picks. So, with that being said, here is the standing. Darren, you have fallen to last place. You were in third place, but you fall in last place to 52, 55-1. You're under 500, sir. Come on, man. Let's get this thing up, okay? In third place, we've got Mr. Darius Riddick. He is 54, 53-1, so 2 games ahead of you. And then in second place is none other than the one and only me. I am in second place at 58, 49-1. Juan is in first place by 1 game.
You tricked me. Oh my God.
Juan is in first place by 1 game at 59, 48-1. He had a very, very solid week 6 that kind of catapulted him into the lead.
It's weird because, like, on primetime game picks, I'm 500. I'm 12-12.
Nice. I like it. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into our game picks again. Game picks in 1, count them, 1 explanation. Juan, I will begin with you, sir.
All right. I'll try to make this as quick as.
Please drop them in the chat, fellas.
Of course. Just give me a second. All right. So for tonight's game, it's a hashtag unzip the hoodie time. Y'all know what it is. And while I put my Bucks chain away, I'm just gonna unzip this to show that I am taking the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. You may have 8, coach, but I got the best player on that team. That's 9, baby. Yeah.
Funny part is you put them together and you got the third best.
89, Mr. Mark Andrews. Probably the best tight end in this league. Probably. But we're not getting into that discussion now. All right, so I'm taking the Ravens to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. I will take Jacksonville to beat a piss poor Denver team in London on Sunday. I will have the Atlanta Falcons beating the Carolina Panthers, Dallas beating Chicago, Miami beating Detroit, Minnesota beating Arizona, Las Vegas beating the New Orleans Saints in the Dome. I'm calling that one. The Jets are gonna beat the New England Patriots. Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm begging you, please. The Eagles beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Titans beating the Texans. Who did I pick for this one? Washington beating Indianapolis. The 49ers beating the Rams. New York beating Seattle, despite all the Geno hype we were just talking. Buffalo beating the Packers, and the Bengals to beat the Cleveland Browns. And I offer no explainers other than giving my hot takes, which is Zach Wilson will throw over 300 yards against the Patriots. That's what. And my other hot take involves involves the Ravens tonight. Not a single touchdown will be scored. It will be all one off the leg of Mr. Justin Tucker. I'm calling it 18-10.
18-10. So a safety?
Oh wait, sorry, 18-6.
Okay. Hey, well, there you heard it, folks. You heard it.
All right.
You heard it. I'm not mad at it, Coach. Give me your game picks.
Okay. Ravens, clearly, every day, all day. Ravens, Jags, Panthers, Cowgirls, Finns,
Oh my God.
Vikings. I think I might go with you on this one. Raiders. Yes, Raiders, Jets, Texans, Colts, 49ers, Hawks, Bengals, Eagles, and this is my explainer. And hear me out. Packers over Bills.
All right, me being the Wisconsin, me being the Wisconsin resident right now, I know the attitude in Wisconsin is pessimistic.
No, you said no explanations. There's your explanation. Let's hear it.
Come on.
Let's hear it.
Packers fans believe in this team right now.
So
make it quick.
There's one thing I know about Aaron Rodgers in situations like this, when his back is against the wall, and everyone is telling him, "Oh, you're not the same. What's going on?" He says, "Relax," and he got it. They still have a solid rushing game. They still have a solid defense. And if there's one thing they need to do, just get Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson going. And that is my hot take. Romeo Doubs goes for $150 and 2 touchdowns in this game.
Dobbs had 4 drops against the Commanders last week. Lazard is likely out.
But hey, again, Romeo Doubs is a rookie who definitely had his drops. But hey, when he had his drops one game, he bounced back with 8 catches the next.
All right. So I'm going to get into my picks. Ravens, Bucks tonight. Give me the Ravens. Panthers versus the Falcons. Come on, Falcons. Let's get back on their winning ways. Broncos versus the Jags. Jags love London. Give me the Jags. Bears versus Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys. Dolphins versus the Lions. Give me the Dolphins. Cardinals versus the Vikings. Give me the Vikings. Raiders versus the Saints. Give me the Raiders. Patriots versus the Jets. Give me the Jets. Steelers versus the Eagles. This is a game I think that the Eagles might actually lose. I think this might be the one. But give me the Eagles. Titans versus the Texans. Give me the Titans. Washington Commanders versus the Colts. Give me the Commanders. 49ers versus the Rams. Ooh, that one. Wow, that's tough.
Which one?
Niners versus Rams.
Kyle Shanahan's always had Sean McVay's number.
He does, but again, I don't know if he'll do it twice. Give me the Niners. Giants versus the Seahawks. Ooh, another tough one, but I'll take the team that's hot and winning in every single way. Give me the Giants. Packers versus the Bills. I see an upset like you, Darren, but I'm going to pick the Bills. And Bengals versus the Browns. Give me the Bengals. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I have no hot takes. I have no explanations. Coach, what's up?
I'm sorry. Alazar's not playing. I take back what I said.
I just said that. I literally said it to you. I said it to you, and you still stuck with the pick, and now you're claiming it. Now you're taking it.
See.
Are you switching?
I was like,
are you switching?
oh yeah, I'm switching that. It's the Bills. I'm sorry.
All right.
See, it was
All I need
for me. I was like,
all I need is Darius to take the Patriots to beat the Jets, and I'm happy because then the Jets will actually win. There cannot be a clean sweep.
All right, y'all. With that being said, this is the Air It Out podcast brought to you by Inside the Hashes. Listen, don't forget to follow us on all the social media platforms, okay? That is Instagram and Facebook at Inside the Hashes, Twitter at Inside the Hashes, and please do me a favor. Go to www.insidethehashes.com. Check out the website. Please do that. If you do that, you'll get all the content, the blogs, the podcast, the player interviews, the gaming, all of that stuff is right there, man. It's good stuff. And then go to YouTube, turn on the notification button, hit that subscribe button, and let us know. Well, it'll let you know when we are live, and you can get your comments put in the chat just like that. Pop, thank you for joining in. We appreciate that. So yes, please follow us everywhere. And I know you might be wondering, how do I do that? Well, let me show you. All you got to do is scan that QR code right. Where is it? Right there in the corner. Okay. Scan that QR code and it'll take you exactly where you need to be. For the resident Eagles fan, I meant Ravens fan, and
I remember looking this down, but you know what?
And Juan, my name is Avery. This is the Air It Out podcast. Matt Ryan got benched because he was actually patting.
No, you can't do this anymore. You can't make this statement anymore.
He's
gone, Avery.
He's not paying anything.
He is on the bench. You can't make this statement anymore, man. It's over. Oh, I mean,
all I'm saying is,
thank you.
Because of the fact that he was passing the ball.
Robinson got traded too. So you could have talked about